individual performance, fast plays, and lots of aggression. Let's see then who will lead with the pistols, as these will prove very important. Oh dear, that is the bomb on the flower. I don't know what that accent is. 5 on 3 for DMS as they look to collect the players coming back from that long position. Making a statement early, or DMS then. So far, so good for them. Socia and Averona have much work to do. Such a difficult position to engage from also. Socia needs an ace. I'm not sure if the Glock is going to one-shot top mid from this position. She'll close the distance though. Trying to isolate the fight, but there are just too many of them. That is how you want to start it.
Now, for those of you that maybe didn't catch the regular season, maybe didn't catch day one, my player that I'm watching, because like Astra's great, Julie was a nightmare for the enemy team yesterday. Like, she plays incredibly well. So really looking forward to seeing what she does here. Also, we were talking so much about Astra being the IGL, and then Hanka, in her actual wisdom, we have perceived wisdom, she has actual wisdom, and she had a conversation with Astra. And no, apparently, the IGL for this squad is Kaude, who obviously IGL'd a little bit for FlyQuest in North America, but now she's FlyQuesting. Now she's IGLing for Zerance, which is pretty cool. It's an interesting dynamic though, because obviously she doesn't have all of the experience with something like that. But with Astra on the AWP, it makes sense. Not a lot of AWPers can take that IGL role. It's incredibly difficult to get the full value out of that. So I think that does make some sense in that regard. And the other reason that I found it interesting was that Kaude always struck me as a relatively like quiet person, but apparently she has an incredibly strong personality in game. It's like when you're in your element and you're in the thing that you understand and that you're good at, and you become like an authority. So apparently, like that's the dynamic that they've got right now, which I think is pretty cool.
IGLing also has variables also. If other people have an idea of what's going on, they can contribute with the mid to late round calls also. So that might be something which I don't know if she had that on her previous squads. If there's more or less of that on this squad, we shall see. I think I said it was a good start for DMS, but clearly it wasn't. It was Zerance with the 1-0. That's just a great way to start an eco round, an anti-eco round. The fat HE in the long doors. Good to put the distance between you and the opponent, even if you fall. You don't want that rifle getting collected. Where is the rifle? There is the rifle. Very good. Simple and effective. 2-0 for Zerance.
Quick as you like. And as to be expected, losing one player, not the end of the world. Pretty clean. Happy with that. And for DMS, they've got an opportunity to turn things around. We obviously have a slight tech issue here, so I've used the first tech issue to talk a little bit about the IGLing structure for Zerance. For DMS, so I mentioned a player to look out for on Zerance, but for DMS, I'm really keeping my eyes on Averona and Socia. Now, Kitsuna had a phenomenal AWPing day yesterday, but Socia and Averona are really kind of the can openers of this team. So for this particular matchup, I'm looking to them to be that big difference maker early on in the round.
Socia is a name that stands out to me. From the European matches, I always remember Lucy mentioning Socia all the time. So she'll definitely be one to watch for this series. Some gremlins for one of the Zerance players, I believe. Fiddling about with some stuff before we get into this properly.
The veto was pretty interesting as well. It's almost a replica of what they did in the regular season, except in the regular season they played Anubis instead of Dust 2. So they haven't actually had the opportunity to play Dust 2 against one another coming into this. Could lead some very interesting results because, again, our sample sizes for both of these two teams are relatively small. We don't have a huge wealth of information of how these ladies play on this map. So there's a lot of potential for surprise here. And the team that picks into it, DMS, so they've played it twice. And I'm usually of the opinion of like, if you're picking a map that you haven't played a whole lot, that tells me that you've spent a lot of time on the server outside of officials trying to figure that map out. So I've got a lot of my attention on DMS here and what it is they're bringing to the table in this map.
Off to the races we go. There's Julie falling back, putting space between her and the eco players. Calde collecting. Oh, okay. We've got big energy. But again, I mean, that's needed at the beginning. Astra, I told you. Astra superfan here. Appreciating the scout headshot. On a buy round as well. That's when you want to land those headshots. But again, I think Zerance would be disappointed with their first loss in this tournament. So they definitely want to make sure the psyche is in the right place for this match. They will believe that they should be winning this. Really sounds like Doom Guy when they throw those nades. 1 minute on the clock, 4 Ts remaining. They've established presence on the short, nothing doing as far as long is concerned. You can see Monkey D. Julie making sure of that. Molly on those long doors. So what is the play here? Do they try and pull a third player towards that A bomb site, then make a play towards B? There is an option for that, and the smoke for that is being deployed. Still got Jamie looking top mid, looking for a flank from the CT side. But now there's that denial of information, and the CTs don't really know what to do. What is the ultimate play, though? 30 seconds. Maybe a little too shy to go for that play. I think it might have been a good one for them, with only 2 players on B. But it will ultimately be A, trying to pull the CTs from pillar to post. Astra swing and a miss with the scout. Calde could be crucial. There's such little time for that bomb to get planted, but Sosia is ready for that attempt. Monkey D. Julie doesn't quite connect with her bullets, and there is the bomb planted. Suddenly it's the T's at the advantage now as all the CTs collapse, and suddenly Astra, who got the first frag in the round, is wondering what has happened to her squad. She needs a lot of headshots to clutch this one, but a tag won't be enough.
A bit of a fumble there, it felt like. Had a really good start to the round, a really good opening, a lot of opportunities where shots just are not connecting. I mean, like Calde, she actually very quietly manages to make her way up the boxes, but there's 3 players there and she's looking in a direction. It turns out to be the wrong direction, but how on earth could she have known that? The real issue comes in with Julie, who's made her way up short and misses like every shot.
Fumbled the bag.
It's rough, man.
Yeah, that was a huge fumble. That was felt like a very unlikely outcome, especially when they served the grenades towards B. Went through mid doors, no challenge. Just didn't. I mean, they never looked fully committed to it with Jamie holding for rotation towards top mid, but I didn't see that succeeding most of the time.
Oof.
Big surprise. Rachel falling back now. Another 5-on-4. Zerance don't want to be losing too many of these scenarios on their CT side. That DM's blue is so perfectly CT colored. That's really messing with my mind.
It's valid.
Looks like there might be a play through long doors on this occasion now, as the T's take more presence on short. There's still a CT smoke up for the time being. But what do they do with their B players now? Because surely Rachel feels a bit vulnerable. I think she might be positioning herself to fall back for a retake with this flank coming in from short. That smoke will give her more space to play with, though. Julie doesn't miss on this occasion, coming in with the 5-7, but her and Calde will be dropped. And now there's no help, no flashes to come for Rachel, who finds herself on an island. Again, that clock is running so slow. Short plant is up, smoke is still up, bomb is planted. But they don't really have long, and they don't really have short this T side, which makes things very awkward indeed. But Emerald will be dispatched of, and the score is quickly tied.
DMS, I think, maybe just a little bit too split up there and not really playing off of one another very well. And that gave a lot of space just to maintain position. Sorry, Zerance, you see, now I'm getting confused by the color.
Yeah, it happened to be in a pistol round.
Ooh.
I was all over the shop.
Yeah. But it's a solid round for DMS to come away with. And it's impressive that they've managed to turn things back around in their favor. Obviously, it is a bit of an anti-eco for them, so you do expect them to come up through that. But to bring it to 2-2 here, it shows that they're not allowing any sort of like crazy snowball to happen. The problem now for Zerance is that it could happen in the reverse. Now they're the ones that are down on a pretty broken bit of econ here. It's going to be a full pistol round. And that doesn't bode well for this round. It's more than likely just going to be a bit of a throwaway, which will allow DMS to climb up into the lead.
I do enjoy the CIS style of T-side where you play the long rounds out. If the CTs don't have the information as to the bomb site intentions of the T-side, it can be terrifying to play against this kind of style. A hard eco for Zerance on this occasion. USPs everywhere. That might have some good timing. Trying to split the defenses. Not much defending to be done, of course, on a round such as this.
Felt like she was considering the gun and then was like, no, no, that's a terrible idea.
I'm reading some frustration.
Yeah.
The sound travels so far as well in this game. If Verona was on the other side, she would hear Julie running in this position. Oh! Unlucko, malacko. That was unfortunate.
That would have been a free gun. Ah, well. A little bit of damage done in that round. 1 kill. Not the be-all and end-all. Right, so this is where we actually pay attention. This is where the rounds, and it's rough that it's happening on round 6. But full guns here, and it's a good opportunity for Zerance to turn things back around. Problem is, like, Emerald hasn't really had an opportunity to show up just yet. Rachel had a rough day yesterday. It's not looking much better just yet so far. We'll see if that picks up as the map goes on.
I wonder if Socio is going for a deep peek. Sometimes the T-side will just poke into that tunnel a little, looking to the right-hand side to catch a CT positioning. Can lead to some very quick rounds. CT's opting to hold that short position, but now that's been conceded. Did they venture towards long? Because playing A and not having short or long is very, very dire indeed. They've got to line up to smoke towards long doors. As the bomb carrier was showing some presence there, Jammy, but she will be falling away. So Zerance is still able to hold on to something. Oh, this timing could be very good indeed. Sosia, I think she spotted something. And the CTs won't outstay their welcome. Being very proactive, looking for information. Now that split might be on. They've got another smoke grenade. Oh, Astra.
Oh.
Kitsuna in a perfect position to punish that peak. Now the urgency is rising for the CTs. How do they position? Oh, just running to their demise. Emerald has too many Ts coming her way. Absolutely surrounded. Nothing for Monkey D, Julie, and Cowday to do at this point. Survival might be difficult as well. Bomb's not even planted just yet.
I mean, this just feels clinical at the moment. Just perfect, like great utility usage, really good positioning, catching out a lot of these players, and maybe Zerance doing a couple of silly things, getting caught out where they shouldn't be. And there are moments where we see them not, as you so succinctly put it, not overstaying their welcome, you know, give over a little bit of information, okay, cool, we're going to back away. Instead, we don't want to put ourselves in an uncomfortable spot, but then it's a situation like Astra, who's kind of jiggling in mid and gets caught, unfortunately. No real backup there, nothing to help her escape once she realizes that there is a player. So perhaps the setups aren't what they need to be. And that was an important round, I felt like, for Zerance to start gaining some traction back into the half. But it's a big one for DMS. It's a bit of a statement round as well. The first gun round of this half, and they take it pretty darn handedly.
Back into dire straits for Zerance then. Pistols. And not much else. Bit of Kevlar here and there. Double HE's Jammy somehow gets away. I do like this pacing though from this style, from DMS and their style, as I mentioned before. I enjoy this kind of counter-strike. Not easy to pull off effectively. I feel like if you're in a role like Saucier is here as well, how do you keep your focus? Again, that timing. This time, the CTs will not be spotted. Emerald heading back just in case they're through mid, as the CTs don't have that info. Well, what do you do from here? Little do they know, Jammy is still lurking. Nothing more annoying than that person that just is outside that door at all times, no matter what. You're thinking, okay, now I can rotate. I've waited ages, you just get popped immediately. So what do they do here? Very awkward positions. Ideally, you'd want to save these rifles, but I don't think that's going to happen either. Point of no return. Oh, such a struggle to just get that last bullet. And there's the flank from Jammy. Very nicely done. Methodical. Few holes in the game for DMS. 5-2.
And showing us why Dust2 was their pick. Looking very comfortable on it at the moment. Maybe it was one of those surprise picks where they were like, we're not going to play too much of this in the regular season because we want it to kind of be our big, you know, gotcha card. If we manage to make it all the way to Dallas, which they have done. So really cool to see how well they are performing here. I want to see a bit more push and pull from Zerance. It feels like they're allowing the pacing to be dictated. Not the push and pull I was hoping for.
I thought there was a chance of two CTs falling there. Look how many Ts there are. Getting dealt with though by Rachel. It's been a quiet game for her so far, but that could be very important. 3-on-3 remainder of DMS in mid and lower tunnel. Was that scope heard by Emerald? No help towards B. And now Astra can run distraction, dropping Kitsuna. Oh, what a beautiful flick from Astra. And there's a trade fragger when needed. Emerald to collect the last one. A ray of light for Zerance after some very difficult rounds indeed.
Especially losing that first player so early on, and you're like, oh man, it's another situation where they've lost the advantage, and how on earth are they going to recover from this? But Rachel in some perfect positioning there, and perhaps, you know, DMS getting a little bit overconfident, not expecting them to be there, not really throwing the util where it needs to be, and they lose out in that scenario. And it's a perfect opportunity for recovery. Unfortunately, DMS still have so much money in the back pocket. Even if they lose this round, they're still going to be relatively okay.
I'm quite interested in how the T-side play this round out, because they know that the CTs have compromised lower tunnel. Ulyss is creeping in that direction. I think for a normal team, this might slow them down quite a lot, the T-side. You saw they got smoked off on long already, so it's kind of really slowed them down. But they play slow anyway. So how much does this really ruin their plan? Perhaps not that much. Ulyss has now established control of that lower tunnel area, so normal business can resume. Jammy lurking with the bomb outside long doors, while the remainder establish control of short. And as soon as they've done that, look at them head towards long. Looking for that traditional split of the bomb site. And again, Astra, she's an AWP by car, but she doesn't have any flashes left, which means that Julie doesn't have the support she needs, although Astra, I don't think she gets there in time. Look at that. Oh, that was so nasty. And Astra misses the shot. So I'm not sure where she used her util. Maybe it's because they... Oh, she's got $1,000 in the bank. So yeah, this round's pretty much over, but in an ideal world, your CT sniper by the car has flashes. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered because they played contacts and just popped Julie in the face.
Yep.
But where possible, you want Astra to have the flashes to offer support, so you have a bit more room to play solo on long.
And that's kind of the point that I was making a couple rounds back as well, like the support from the rest of the team. You've got these individually gifted players that can do incredible things when given the chance, but you're not setting each other up for success in the way that you need to be. Now, I don't want to overstate this and be like, oh, well, they're just not doing anything. You can see that attempts are being made, but it's not as clean. It's not as clinical. And you're playing up against a team who clearly have a really good idea of how they want to play this map and what they want to be doing round to round. So you can't give them those opportunities. You've got to be a lot more coordinated in your efforts. And now with the money being a little bit of a problem here, DMS pulling ahead massively. A 3-round differential, 2 rounds left in the, oh, sorry, 3 rounds left in the half. Never do maths on stream. Can Zerance turn this around? They still have a good buy into this round, but losing this round means no money, which could mean 9-3 half. Not great.
What does Julie do here? From spawn, smoke's being deployed to the corner by the T side. She'll have to concede that immediately. CT's charging up mid in the meantime. However, if the T's could read how many CTs are playing shenanigans in mid, look at their positions towards B. They could just charge in there. They're going to do exactly that. They picked the right time to open the B door. And now Emerald is desperately trying to hold on. 10 HP, hiding in the smoke, making her way through instant trade. She got one at the very least. Outmaneuvered very early. And suddenly, DMS, who like that slow, methodical pace, understand their advantage and seize it. They are looking good right now. Retake time. There is a molly for Astra. That could go in any number of places. Big box is a common one, and it does go in that right direction. They could smoke off the tunnels, potentially. Julie popped. And Astra and KL, they remain on the bomb site. The T's have lost all position. There's a kit for Astra. And the defuse will be good. She's able to hold things down, Kaude. An important 4th round then for the CT side. Fighting back. They're not done with this half just yet.
Yeah, that was an uncharacteristically messy end to the round for DMS, but well done to Zerance for maintaining that control. The fact that they are able to mount that retake, get themselves into good positions, and crucially have 2 players still alive in those final moments once they've kind of pushed most of the CTs off of the site. Because that allows Kaude to play Protect the President, and getting caught on the other side of the smoke, having to reload, not the best position. And of course, Kaude takes full advantage.
Lightning fast round now from DMS, getting big entries. When you can change the pace to this degree, again, this just makes it makes them a very hard team to play against. The last round was opportunist. This one was by design. Kitsuna caught by a very nice flash. Good coordination from Zerance, but they do need more. And they might not find it around this A bomb site. Julie has to concede position once again. 2 versus 4. What is left for them in this round? Very good half by DMS. I've enjoyed the setup of these rounds. And the change in pace. And understanding strengths and weaknesses in that round prior, whether they want it or not. Reacting to the opportunity was important.
Unfortunate. I was talking about the can openers of Averona and Socia, and it's really been Averona who's been getting most of these openers. But it's been really cool to see how Kitsuna continues to be such a pivotal piece for this roster even today. She had a fantastic day yesterday with the AWP, and even today, even without that orb in her hands, she's still just running circles, running absolutely rampant, and feeling pretty darn good about their chances on this map. I believe we're last round now. Yes, haha, I got it right this time. And unfortunately, Zerance, it's an awkward force, very awkward.
Yeah, they're lacking grenades on a number of players. Seems they will make up for that with aggression. Long has been taken, while tunnels have been taken. Jammy's got a very nasty angle. She'll have the sound cues as well. And they'll be happy to chill with this. They've got 3 players. Okay, so Kisuna was in Suicide looking down mid. But she can't hold all of it. They could have pushed up short, and short is being held by DMS. By Zerance, excuse me. 4 players in mid. Astra having a look towards the A bomb site now. A smoke and an incendiary is all the CTs have. They might need to get more from this, and perhaps Rachel will be the person to do so. Indeed. Now, is that the gas pedal for DMS? The CTs know where they aren't. And I don't know that they can really re-establish any map control from here. I think they are committed to the A bomb site now. Calde coming in from the back. CT's expectant, but does that mean they'll deliver? Emerald getting off to a good start, traded by Averona, who is teasing across towards the site. They're so patient though, DMS, delivering the frags they need. But now Averona suddenly finds herself alone. Desperately racing over towards that B bomb site. I don't think she'll make it though. And Zerance will claw back one more round at half-time, reducing the deficit to 2. Emerald getting off to a good start, traded by Averona, who is teasing across towards the site. They're so patient though, DMS, delivering the frags they need. But now Averona suddenly finds herself alone.
Excuse me, senor. One moment, please. Yeah, disculpa, I know my English not good looking, but have you seen salt? Because there's no flavor in this place.
Dile al quien fue que cocinó sin el sazón que no se aguante. Ponle un poquito de cebolla y limón a ese picante. Ese mangú no me lo como. Le hace falta sal y huele a mojo. Hay brujería en esa vaina, me hizo daño. Pues tu mamá se come un plátano muy extraño. Ya estoy cansado de estar picando por la plaza, amor. Quiero comerme un desayuno ahí en tu casa, amor. 2 huevitos con chorizo te cocino. No soy cochino, te lo cambio por tocino. Dile a quien fue que cocinó sin el sazón que no se aguante. Ponle un poquito de cebolla y limón a ese picante. Es que te extraño como la cocina de abuela o la empanada de tu vieja. La arena dulce como la miel de abeja. Yo me muero pa' comer si tú me dejas. Diablo, nena, que tú sí estás fuera liga. Mango bajito, los que son tu amiga. Por eso que yo no me encaramo en almor. Gracias por el plato, pero es que le falta algo. Dile a quien fue que cocinó sin el sazón que no se aguante. Ponle un poquito de cebolla y limón a ese picante. Dile a quien fue que cocinó sin el sazón que no se aguante. Dile no se aguante, dame. Ponle un poquito de cebolla y limón a ese picante.
Feel it spilling over. You gotta cry just a little. Cry before you let it go. Gotta take a moment, then move on. Leave the past behind you. You gotta die just a little. Die before you learn to live. Let the magic find you and go on. And you might fall down a little.
Welcome back to the sunny area of Dust 2. An enjoyable half of Counter-Strike was had, especially by DMS on that T side. Very enjoyable. Very different style to many of the teams we have seen thus far in terms of pacing and so on. And now perhaps the Zerance will be able to show themselves on the T side and what they have to offer. Astra will be the raid boss, given a P250 for that extra range for the one-taps. We'll see if she's able to yield any frags from it. We've got a 5v4 situation on the A-bomb side. Saucia wondering where everybody is on the other side of the map, and it's Ulyss to get started, dropping Kaude at point-blank range. T still looking to cross to the A-bomb site. Going fishing in the smoke. Sooner will be found, as will Astra, and then more P250 for you. Flashes will continue. Ulyss drops. Jammy with only 3 HP. If she is to be lost, then that kit needs to be collected by Saucia, who is right behind her. 2 on 3 then. Better be quick on that trigger finger, and Jammy absolutely is. Very fast indeed, and another one. Only 3 HP on her, and she gives enough space for Saucia to trade. 3 HP in a dream, and she made it work.
That's insane. Like, so the utility is already incredibly oppressive. The fact that Saucia is able to slip through the smoke, get a kill, slip back into the smoke, and take like no damage while that's happening instantly opens up the round for the team. Then you've got all of those flashes coming out, and yet despite that, Julie's able to get 2 kills and make this so contestable. And in the final moments, Jammy and Saucia just shut it down. And if Saucia hadn't been able to slip away into the smoke, that round ends a very, very different way. So, I mean, well done, well used, utility well used.
There you go.
Words are hard.
Quite a rough situation here for Zerance. This buy kind of sucks, especially on Dust 2. Many longer distances. One of those maps where not so easy to overwhelm with a Tech 9 play or such. You need those rifles. Very nice from Kaude, leading the charge. It will be retake territory then for the CTs. They've got 2 players on A who will be patiently waiting for their teammates to rotate. This is quite a tricky situation. With just that one frag, Zerance opened the correct door, and now this is a difficult one. Doing a retake split from CT rather than short is very, very dire indeed. Well, let's see what they're able to do then. Trying to dodge the flashes, Zerance and the CTs have been able to close the distance, but look at that damage. Rachel with 2, and they will get absolutely smoked like a kipper. 4 players standing at the end of the round for Zerance. They could not have asked for more in that round.
And such an important economic reset round as well. We've spoken about this a few times. We've actually spoken about the economic reset round far more often than I feel is reasonable. It's happened quite a few times over the course of the last couple of days, but it will happen here once again. Lose pistol, win the force, and force the CTs, who already have uncomfortable economy, to now have to go all the way back down onto pistols. This is a fantastic start to this half for Zerance, and it's the lifeline that they need to keep themselves going that little bit longer. You know, it wasn't the worst deficit in the world coming into the half, but you want to be the team in the lead. So every opportunity that you have to claw your way closer to that evened out scoreline, closer to the finish line, you'll grab those with both hands.
That was a crazy 2K. Look at the pop-off as well. Raise that energy for the squad. Now the true test begins for DMS. They looked really good in that first half. Wow. Passing ships in the night. Kitsuna lands the deagle shot. Okay, then. And Julie finds herself alone. What on earth happened? You know, I was thinking to myself at the beginning of this round, mid is so awkward now that the Ts can't see straight down to the CT side. But I was thinking, you know what? I won't say it on this occasion. And then that happened.
You trolled yourself.
DMS just slowly emerging. Oh God, this is Julie is screwed here because she does not have the bomb, and she is so far away to rotate. She's going to have to win by elimination. She is miles away, so she is not going to have the time to carefully clear area around the bomb and then head to our bomb site. She has to expect 2. But will she be rewarded with 1 kill at the very least? When she comes out of the door, does she look towards the car? You can see Averona repositioning. She understands the timings here. There's the first one. Oh, it's actually worked out for her. Let's go. That's a big pop-off. That's a crazy clutch, and it's all in French. All kinds of French words being said right now.
Apex, is that you? Outstanding. Outstanding. I almost feel like the reposition there was a problem. Like you want to have your lower HP player almost playing face so that someone can trade. The fact that she's the second player, and even then she's like, all right, now I've got the information, and she still loses that. It's a huge round from Julie. That's why she was my player to watch for Zerance coming into this one. An unbelievable clutch, but we've gone 1 for 1 for 1. And again, DMS's money is back in the toilet. We've seen them win a round like this previously, but they know that they can't do the same thing twice. I say that. I mean, they're posturing for it. They're pushing out in towards mid. And Zerance are like, nope, not this time. It's not happening. None of your shenanigans.
Man, she was spitting so many bars. You could have pulled out the Duolingo next to her. It would have just been going ba-ding, ba-ding. She was saying all kinds of French, all kinds.
Yeah, that's definitely the French I learned on Duolingo.
That pop-off was worth a 5-day streak.
I think Heku's got like a 600-day streak or something ridiculous.
Heku's just an all-round smart person.
Honestly.
That was that was a really important clutch. Really important. Perfect timing for that.
They're going to even out the scoreline here, which is really exciting because obviously they came in, as mentioned, with that little bit of a deficit. And now with money in the bank, they're able to even out the scoreline. And suddenly, this starts to look like a winnable map. You know, off the back of that first half, I'm like, oh, geez, is this going to be another blowout like we saw the last map of our previous series? But no, they have actually fought back and clawed their way back into a contestable position here. Now, that being said, DMS still have a little bit of cash here. There's still possibility for them to turn this around, but this is going to be an important one for them to do it in.
Hyper aggression in mid. But that aggression has a shelf life. You can see concerns towards lower tunnel. There is presence there from Julie. Plenty of time on the clock here, minute 30. Creeping through the smoke, those footsteps will be heard. Jamie trying to do what she can. Sudden surge from the seaside through mid is very difficult to deal with. And there's all kinds of junk being thrown towards the B-bomb site as well. The split of B is on. Someone's got to watch the back, though. Averona might end up collecting 2. Just the one it will be, delaying a little, though. As Sosia waits for the push to come through. Bomb site not cleared yet, but a bit unlucky with the FAMAS there, allowing Monkey D. Julie to get an important kill. And this round is over. DMS's turn to suffer on the C side of Dust 2. CT side of Dust 2.
That was rough, man. Kill not confirmed. I don't know if that would have made a ton of difference, all things considered. Maybe for like long-term economy, but even then, like I don't know that it necessarily changes the outcome. But it is unfortunate, and I think it's certainly something that you feel very sad about in the moment. Zerance now finally taking the lead in the series. Nice bit of economic damage. Okay, good. So despite the fact that things went a little bit awry on the B side, for some reason, Zerance feel brave enough to hunt. They run straight into a crossfire and they lose 2 of those extra guns. Now, they had the money to do that, so it's not like it's going to cripple them. They're not going to be able to buy into this next round. They're fine. But obviously, DMS are going to be happy with the extra little bit of cash that they've managed to pull through from that. And winning this next round could actually set them up really nicely into the next, if they can just do that little bit more damage.
Quick timeout discussion from DMS. They do not want to lose grip of this game of Dust 2. Nice and close, as we expected. Series-wide, at least. But a promising first map indeed. Rachel with a good spawn for long. There's a smoke for the corner. No challenge from the CTs, however. And I think that they should understand immediately. Nobody on long. DMS have taken short. They are so proactive, however. Being looked for, though, by Calde. Awkward battleground it is, then. There's no one in lower tunnel as well. There's a push from DMS in lower tunnel, so you can't even get those angles on the T side to stop the CTs from holding this position. It's so awkward and well orchestrated by DMS. One spotted in suicide, but no connection. And this just cripples your round. How do you play your round out? Finally, Julie's made her way towards lower tunnel, but where are all the CTs? They've all rotated towards A. But there's no one there for them to challenge. This is crazy. What a bizarre mid-round. There's no one on the B bomb site whatsoever. Julie will probably hear that rotation. So there's some info for the team, and there's 3 people who are hard committed on long. They'll see that absolutely no one is there, that they can see anyway. And now we've got a big rotation coming towards that B bomb site. With the whole team is coming. All right, Jammy's slowing down. This is partly because they've got 2 rifles on the squad, but it is very fascinating to watch. They've covered almost the entire map. Mollies are coming through. Oh, this is looking bad for Zerance all of a sudden. The CTs are already popping out from all the nooks and crannies. Astra and Rachel left to do it. 2-on-2, big smoke on the site. 19 seconds to plant this bomb. Oh, this is not the way you want to do it. Smoke's all over the shop. Panic stations. Do you focus on the site? Oh, very nice from Rachel. That's an important frag. Sosia coming through now, trying to isolate the fights, but she will be denied. Another difficult round for Zerance, and they come out on top.
Okay, so what's happening there is Euless, and I can't remember who the B player was, but they start moving their way through tunnel to kind of head towards the A site, and she spots out Julie, and Julie spots her. So they have to accelerate to make their way over towards that A site, and Julie's like, all right, cool, the B side is clear, because she's just seen those players leave. So she calls that rotation over, but Euless has spotted her, so they rotate over as well, and that's why you instantly see them kind of meeting each other over on the B side, but unfortunately, the gun deficit comes to bite them in the rear, and they can't make that clutch happen. I mean, that really was a crazy round to watch, but it was such mind games going on in that moment. And unfortunately for DMS, it's another round that they've given over to Zerance. Didn't have a lot of chance in that round. Now they've got a bit of money. They've got to buy. But Zerance now at double digits. And the opportunities to come back into this are slowly slipping away. And that's why you can see them kind of getting a little bit more proactive here, trying to garner that early information. And Zerance, on the other hand, are like, info starve. We're not going to let them know where we are at all. A little bit of util just to throw them off the scent. But DMS have an inkling.
Oh, that's an important frag regardless of who gets it. Astra with that orb doesn't need 2 opportunities. Not for the first frag at least. Rachel catches one at the car as well. That's a lot of info for Zerance. They know there's one more on the A bomb site. And that one that was lower tunnel. Now with 4 players still standing. They can combine and focus on one bomb site. Rachel doesn't pick up the orb. Yeah, she'll be the low health player, but there's a huge gap in that smoke, and they are going to get absolutely railed through it like we're playing Quake insta-gibbed, trying to cross to the bomb site.
There's such good reactions from DMS, man. And I love the more proactive play, right? Taking that space out towards mid. Because when you play a little bit more forward, you have so much more information. It's like, oh, we can't see anything in mid. There's a good chance they're at one of the extremities. They've also pushed out of B. So they're like, all right, guys, well, it's not B and it's not mid. So they have a really good idea of where that hit is going to happen, and they can respond far more quickly.
Oh, beautiful. Living vicariously on Dust 2. DMS fighting tooth and nail to stay in the fight here on Dust 2. Very active indeed. Jamie and Averona could quickly be towards B. Only Averona has a flash to support Sosia though. Get that flash in quick. She needs it desperately. There's the molly. She'll survive for one frag at least. But that bomb site's been taken. 3 on 4 advantage CTs in that respect, but it can be very costly to make your way in towards B. No one towards the tunnels for the time being. Julie will have to make her way through that smoke to commit with her teammates. Take up all these awkward angles. There's still a molly to be deployed by Ulyss. Right then, look at these frags rain in for the T side. Kitsuna, she's still going to go for it. Switching weapon would suggest, yes, 1 versus 2. Swinging towards Astra, but can't quite do it. They're winning the important rounds, Zerance. The really tough rounds are coming out on top time and again.
I must admit, I don't love the smoke yourself off on the site play, purely because you're playing against a fairly aggressive team that are not going to respect that. So they're just going to rush out. They're going to know exactly where you are. They might not know exactly how many, but they know that you're hiding in the smoke. And once you go down, that's the entire site capitulated. And there isn't a lot of time for those rotations to come through. And that's kind of exactly how it plays out. And it's an unfortunate situation because DMS will be back down onto a broken buy. Averona, scout in hand. She can use that scout to the same degree that Astra does. Perhaps they can keep this somewhat close. Economy is not great for Zerance, so winning this round could put them in a really solid position into the next, but losing this round puts us on map point.
Stand on the barrel, line up with the key, jump throw to molly the car safely. Oh. Swinging towards the site then. Not much that DMS have to offer in this round. But Jamie is still going to make something happen in the meantime. The longer she can hold that position for, the better, because 3 still stand for these CTs. Not in great positions at the moment. How Ulyss is still alive, I don't know. But we'll see if she has a part to play. Sosia and Averona coming in from short. They've got to buy next round regardless. And then there's Averona with the scout. Anything she can do will help, but she will not be allowed to do much. Give me the drums. Game point.
This is quite hectic because Dust 2 is the map that DMS beat Bigger Keeper on to get themselves here to Dallas. And to see them kind of floundering now towards the finish line when they had such a strong start to the map, it's not the best look, and I came into this favoring them at the very least in this map. I think this was always going to be a tough series to call overall, but I definitely was giving them an edge in this one. And now that was an important round to win, despite the fact that they didn't have much to make that magic happen. They needed to come out on top of it because they're going to come into this next one, map point, and obviously a much needed timeout now to figure out what on earth the plan is going to be, because they have struggled. Remember, we came into this half at 7-5. They've only managed to pick up 2 rounds so far on their CT side.
Sometimes it be like that.
Really do.
They need to turn it around, and they need to do it now. Not going to overcommit to that long position. Again, lose long, take short. Decision is kind of made for you. Kitsuna posted up, looking for players around this smoke. I don't think she's got the position to re-peek now. Unless a flash comes through, the riflers will be swinging, trying to get a little more, and they will. 3 Ts remain in possession of long for Zerance. Oh. Now, she did see a T, didn't manage to frag, however. Is that a clue as to the intentions of this T side potentially falling back from long? Maybe a warning for the comrades. Averona being real careful. Still with full grenades. It's going to be really hard for them to figure this one out, Zerance. Oh, Jammy's timing could be wonderful here, looking to collect a second. Just making it even worse. Spotted in mid, they could still go either way. 30 seconds on the clock. Good chance of a 2-on-2 worst case scenario, if they're lucky, a 2v1 as they pursue a bomb site. They won't be lucky though in terms of the numbers, but the trade will be there. Rachel, got to get your skates on then.
Oh.
Oof. Switching out to a rifle, closing the distance. Racing in, full send into the window, but nothing doing there. And it will be Zerance who take Dust 2 away from DMS, winning their opponent's pick.
And it's so incredible that it's Rachel to get that final kill, because she was someone that I was planning to highlight at the end of the map for a couple of reasons. The first reason being obviously the sheer number of kills that the slay on it, but the real test now is in the fact that this is a rematch. It's a possibility, it's potential for DMS to turn things back around, and given how one-sided it was the first time around, I remain unconvinced.
And Rachel came into this one hot, ready for that headshot. Very good showing from Rachel last game. No sudden explosion then, but look how split DMS are here. They've got 2 players per site trying to play crossfire with each other, but that will make them spread very thin indeed with 4 Ts coming their way. That's a fat grenade as well. Poison Chalice thrown at Averona, still standing with 13 HP, and hey, that might be enough. Sosia by the oranges. They've gone bad, it seems, and that leaves Ulyss and Kitsuna rotating from the A bomb site. I don't know that they were set up to succeed in this pistol round after losing that first player. It's rare you see things come to a halt after a frag on both sides and then continuation. Either way, Ulyss will be alone. At this point, it might be worth her honestly just going to save her Kevlar. Because how many people will she need to frag to kind of make up that money? If they choose to force buy in that next round, let's see what they choose to do. But if they do force buy, I think there is an argument to just go and save your Kevlar.
Super random thing, but like, Julie has impressed me so much, and I've just discovered that she is 1 year older than me. And the reason I bring that up is because I am ashamed. I could not live up to the bar that she is currently setting. I mean, she has been exceptional throughout the last couple of days. Very, very cool to see. And of course, we'll kick things off in that round very, very nicely. So yes, DMS still on the pistols. One upgraded pistol here. We'll see if Averona can make some magic happen.
Yeah, so no force buy. The Kevlar is less crucial, but still, there is an edge to be had with that. Allows you to absorb a bullet or 2. As long as you don't take it in the face, of course. DMS awaiting their fate. Very good round for Zerance. Assuming Zerance survive this with a lot of people alive, I hope we see like some kind of fast play with these Max 10s for the next round where they can abuse the advantages of them. An extended fight on Banana, you know, could lead to a mixed bag, but maybe there is a plan in mind for them. A-bomb site has been seized. Good area control we're seeing here. Now, what do you do if you're the CTs? Because there are MAC 10s everywhere. You don't really want to give up this bonus money, but you don't also have really anywhere to go. So I guess you just have to stand there and wait for death to come to you. That's exactly what will happen. Everyone doing the right thing. 2-0 for Zerance.
One consolation kill, but let's face it, it doesn't make too much of a difference. It's a great way to kick things off here. And of course, the reinvest minimal for Zerance, so they come into this very strong. And, ooh, Cowday, so much cash, even after that buy. So we are more than likely, well, I suppose it begs the question, right? We've spoken about how the AWP can be quite difficult on the T side on this map, but mayhaps we just see it anyway. We'll have to find out in that next round, because that's when they'll have all the money to play with. Speaking of money, DMS now able to actually get some sort of a buy through here, but very limited in their utility.
Have a look at this start for the CTs. 4 people around B. However, they did not make that too obvious with the throwing of grenades. Some rounds, like we've seen that this weekend already, where someone's thrown too many nades. The T side have read it and tried to make a fast play towards the A-bomb site. Not the case here. Rapid response team was in position, and now we have 4 towards the A-bomb site. But again, the question is, how do Zerance get these MAC 10s working? I was wondering if there'd be some kind of boiler explosion. The MAC 10 is hit to swing though as the grenades are being deployed. That is exactly what you want. All the frags coming via MAC 10s in this round. For those of you at home, that should be your default plant spot. Make the CTs face the wall to defuse it. Worst possible scenario for them. 4 on 2, nothing else for DMS to do but leave.
It's a really good reaction from them. You have this heavy stack towards B, a little bit of utility gets used, and they start rotating across really quickly. I think maybe the lack of response in terms of util, maybe they read into that. Whatever caused them to call that rotation, it was beautifully done. They get all of their bodies over towards the A side. The problem is that they lose, like, all of their fights. They get the 1 kill onto Julie, and that's all she wrote, unfortunately. And then they're forced to have to just back away. The MAC 10s, you know, you get right up close and personal, and credit to Zerance to use their utility to get them into those close quarters engagements. So you're minimizing how many of your fights are long range, and therefore you can get the most value out of these weapons. Bit of a weird one, or an unfortunate one, I suppose, running out of bullets right at the top of brackets there. But Zerance will take that one, and they will take the round as well. Now DMS with a very broken buy into this round. Some early chip damage might give them a little bit of leverage.
Big flash, big swing, no trade frag. Now, if they can secure this position, maybe there's a rifle to collect. I don't know how Averona got a second frag out of that. Well, there's another rifle to collect. As the shrapnel will finish off the job. Now, are Zerance in the mood to continue to pursue Banana? We can see that the numbers are towards A for the CT side here. Ulyss having a look, and Emerald had just turned to the right. Again, should they be successful here, DMS, this is one of those rounds where you can't replicate it. However, a start is a start. And if they can keep their numbers up, they can start to build. Three-person rotation up Banana as the bomb makes its way. To plant around the fountain. And the pain is coming promptly as well. Monkey D. Julie gets a 2-person transfer down to the pistol. You started to wonder. I think she would have needed rage hacks to solve that problem, though.
I mean, the fact that she gets 2 there, just literally holding down M1 and trying to control the spray and just not getting shot is a little bit ridiculous, I will admit. The fact that they keep it so expensive is always a good sign for them. But unfortunately, just not enough done. This is a great round from DMS. I mean, Averona does so much in that. So you've got the early util damage that creates a bit of space there. Averona gets that first kill, then somehow follows it up with a second, and that snowball just keeps rolling. I think that they were kills that maybe she shouldn't have gotten away with. So perhaps a slight misplay from Zerance, but credit where it's due. DMS take full advantage.
Heading towards long very quickly. Looking to... This is a lightning fast split of the A bomb site. There are CTs to deal with, though, for Zerance. Kitsuna caught in no person's land. With a grenade, no less. All rendered useless for this one. Absolutely neutralized. Great round thus far from Zerance. Nothing that DMS could do, it seems. Jamie hasn't found a frag in this round, in this game just yet. Still pursuing something. This is very low percentage though. Averona, oh my god, they've barely had an answer to these frags just yet. How have they taken that back? Utterly wild.
Damn.
Massive props for that. 3 versus 4, awkward angles all over the shot, but somehow Averona squeezes 2. Wow.
And Jamie getting 2 as well. It feels like Zerance's post-plant setup just very, very weak. Maybe that was the plan. I mean, the fact that they took site relatively for free kind of tells me that maybe this was the line of thinking. It was weak-sided, which, you know, you'll kind of have often roaming between which is going to be your weak side, and it turned out that in this round the A was the weak side. They kind of overrun it really quickly, take down the player towards top bracket, then you take out the AWP as well. Free site, you've lost 1 player, but you have a numbers advantage. Should be easy peasy. Positioning not where it needs to be, and DMS very quickly overrun and retake. Good little bit of util usage there, and a round that should have been in the bag for Zerance is just snapped away from them in the blink of an eye. Beautiful positioning from Averona as well to open things up.
Yeah, that 2K from the apartments was crazy. That was a game changer. They were destined to just lose all of their rifles otherwise, I think. Showing how deep they can dig. I've done that before. This is a big round for DMS. If they can break the T side here, they can take control of this half.
This map control is outrageous.
This has slowed the approach of the T side, having to re-establish presence in mid. Almost throwing nades from T-spawn. This has wasted a lot of their util also. A little bait there with a CT falling back. Won't be taken though by the T side, but this is looking very rough for Zerance. Sub 40 seconds, everybody in mid, no control of banana. Unknown situation towards A. They haven't broken ground onto top mid just yet. Numbers are the only thing going in their favor, but they don't know what the setup is for the CT side. As we can see, we've got 2 in the pit, so there could be a bait setup here, especially with a low health player. Although it'll be Fostio who has to show first, and they will combine to cut down these numbers. That was made incredibly awkward for Zerance by DMS, and they reap the rewards later on.
That's why I love proactive plays. I think that if you can time it well, you can get so much value out of that. And I think what's really important is that DMS don't like hang around. You know, they push forward, they get that opening kill, they wait like a moment or 2. Is someone gonna get cheeky? No, okay, let's back off. Because very quickly thereafter, util starts to come through to allow Zerance to retake that space. So they've now also forced Zerance to have to use util that they might not want to have used in that particular...
Oh, my words. Hanging on by a thread. Give me another HE.
Oh, that's nasty. Who did Newt say were the util magnets?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I'm pretty sure it was
Yeah,
DMS.
indeed it was. Yeah, that's the strongest magnet I've seen in a long time.
Sorry, Newt, your stats have been ruined. Damn. I suppose it's a case of taste of your own medicine. Goodness me. What was I saying about util?
You're okay. You're doing all right over there.
I'm really not.
That was some big, chunky damage. Meat and potatoes. I know someone was waiting for me to say that. There you go. 4-3, DMS in the lead. Kitsuna going hyper aggro with the AWP, swing and a miss, able to escape, however, relatively unharmed. A lot of artillery being thrown at Banana as per usual. In the meantime, there'll be presence shown towards A. Maybe hoping for an over-rotation towards that B area, but there are still 3 CTs on this A bomb site. Eunice coming in from the back, might catch a second. Indeed, she does. Would she get the one on the balcony as well? Emerald with 2 of her own, and it's Eunice to trade. 3 kills on the A bomb site, keeps her team in it as they go for the rotation. Astra and Julie remain. Bomb not on the bomb site just yet. Getting planted now.
Bomb has been planted.
2 on 2. Do they wait up the smoke? They're unsure as to where the second player is. That will be Astra in the apartments. Ever capable, but only 1 frag in 7 rounds for Astra. This would be a great time to warm up. Just seeing a bit of leg. Good spray there, and Julie will collect the second. Very close indeed. Nice tight game on our hands here on Inferno. We expected it to be a close run series with these 2 squads, and they are delivering.
Are you ready for the stats?
Give me the numbers.
All right, so the last time they played this, DMS started on the T side, and they went 6-6, and then they did not pick up a single round on their CT half.
Interesting.
So already off to a much better performance than what they had done previously. The fact that they've managed to pick up 4 rounds so far on CT bodes very well for that second half. Because previously it was actually the floated map. So of course it came down to the knife round, who gets to start on which side. This time around, they got to pick. This is actually quite interesting that they opted to start on CT given how rough it was the previous time. But they've come into this one a lot more prepared, particularly having played against Zerance on this map before. So it's good to see that whatever conversations were had in the last 6 weeks certainly seem to have paid off.
Three CTs over towards Banana. Time to dodge those nades again. So important for the T's to establish some control there, otherwise it can really slow your round down. That's a nasty peek from Calde. Avrona looking to respond. So the T's keep pursuing this. Calde with a big swing there, ready to go for another one on her own. Comes up short on this occasion though. Oh, Sosia caught with a grenade, and Rachel will punish. Looking to have another strong game, leading by example. Actually, Julie's just ahead. Overlay was blocking, 9 kills for her, 7 for Rachel. Not too shabby at all, though. Julie waiting for rotation. Oh, that timing! Pure Counter-Strike you're seeing right there.
Oh, rough.
3 on 3 then. Emerald's coming through with the MAC-10. Still MAC-10's in play, even in round 9. And that will be an open A bomb site. On the old Inferno, where there was wood over that crawl space, people would come up on the radar. When you were like in the last third of the wood, coming to pop out, you would show on the radar before you could be seen. Not the case anymore, obviously, but that was a little thing to be aware of.
Now we have shadows.
Yeah.
The number of times I've seen kills come through purely because we spotted a shadow. Like, it's insane. Makes it very difficult to sneak up on people, which I suppose is the purpose. So DMS forced now to have to save 2 of their weapons. Kitsuna hasn't had as much of an impactful map. That's not to say she hasn't, you know, that she's like disappeared, but it hasn't been to the same degree that we saw yesterday and of course on that first map earlier on. And in this round, she kind of got shut out purely due to the fact that the round just capitulated so early on. So I'm hoping now into this next round, they've still got money, they'll get a buy through, and we might start to see her have those opportunities into these rounds. Damn, that's painful.
That's so annoying. But like, there's nothing you can do, but it just feels horrible.
The fact that it's a timing as well. Like if she'd had her gun out, there's a world. You see
That's
the
what
feet
we're
drop
talking about,
down.
yeah. Like the second she changes her weapon, boom. Brutal. Delayed airstrikes on this occasion. 3 towards A for the CTs. Important to mix it up. Saw some really nasty HEs from the oranges stack to that half full position. But anyway, Flashes desperately trying to connect with something. Averona barely alive, 9 HP. But alive is alive, especially when you're holding an AK. DMS content to wait for Zerance to make their play. But yeah, where these fights have been taking place, there are some really brutal HEs that can be deployed. 35 seconds on the clock. Emerald still lurking in mid, but 4v5, I think they need that extra player over. Playing contacts into the B bomb site. Got no smoke for CT. This is super Larry. In they come. That smoke will split the crossfire, actually. That's the bomb committed at the back of the site. Only one CT has fallen so far. Make it 2 then. And there is time to plant the bomb. Rachel and Emerald have the clutch of 8 and 52 HP respectively. It's better be quick. Better be accurate. Emerald's got a good spot here to get 2, and she'll do exactly that. Clinical on that second one. Kitsuna now 1v2. Little does she know that HE would probably yield a kill, but she won't get the chance to throw it now. And Zerance take that round.
Oh, that's insane. I mean, so Averona gets that first kill off the back of a great flash, and she's able to slip away and not die to the, like, flashed out spam that's coming through, which then allows her to get a second kill later on when the exec finally comes through. Like, she does way more than what was expected of her in that round before she's finally traded out, and she's put her teammates in a very winnable 3v2 scenario, but no one's expecting the you know, just outside church, tucked into the corner. No one's expecting her to be there. 2 kills to come through, which allows Rachel the possibility to clutch out. Emerald goes massive for Zerance there. That's a big round, man. And it's a fumble from DMS. Like, that should have been a round that they had in the bag, just given how it starts off and the situation that they're put in, the massive numbers advantage, the HP advantage, and they drop the ball.
The winner of this to play Supernova Comets later on today. War of attrition in many of these rounds. And it continues. This time, the CTs will leave with full control of Banana. Look at this rotation. They are sending everybody towards A. I love the confidence of this play. You really have to believe. I think Sosia may have seen a T there. So they will be expectant. Oh, Averona looking beyond the angle. And that will cause not 1 but 2 losses. Eunice trying to claw back what she can. But they are losing personnel and position on this A bomb site. Almost lining up for Coward A. And there's Emerald coming in again. Just nasty execution from that boiler position. Be it a MAC-10, be it an AK-47. She is delivering the goods.
It's really cool to see her stepping up as well. I feel like, you know, Zerance has a a team of players that can often kind of disappear, but they'll always have their moments to shine. Inconsistency seems to be a little bit of a plague here, and we can see it with like Astra having a bit of a rough match, or map rather, but Emerald had kind of gone missing in the first map. In this map, she's really started to show up. So it's cool to note that everyone has their moments to pick up the slack.
Have a look at this. Full pace from Zerance hunting. CT's having to scramble for position. Ulyss isolated and taken down. Same for Sosia also. Haven't said her name much. 3 for 8 is Sosia. Caught lacking on the A-bomb site. No more saving to be done here. Three CTs. Versus full Zerance squad. Oh dear. That won't matter. Verona walking the plank basically into an 8th round for Zerance. A brutal finish, a good string of rounds towards the end of the first half.
Well, DMS have had a better performance on their CT side this time around than what they did the first time that they came up against each other on this map. It still has not been a phenomenal performance. 8-4, a lead for Zerance, and one step closer, one half away from potentially moving forward in this bracket. DMS need to dig deep. They need a miracle. Just about.
Maybe that miracle is the pistol round and the anti-force buy. Hand in hand at this point. Always looking at who's got the biggest smile in the profile pictures. I think Cowday wins on this one. Well, it looks like we are setting up for a Halls pop. And here they come, straight to their demise. Like birds hitting a plane. Absolutely wrecked. Sosia remains requiring an ace. She's got 45 seconds. She has some paths to try and find some isolated fights. Proving very difficult though, as Astra will put her out of her misery. 2 for Astra, pistol round for Zerance. The wheels are certainly turning now.
I like birds on a plane. It's like a bug on a windshield, but on a
You like birds on a plane, like getting splattered by a plane?
No, I'm saying I like the phrase, the analogy that it's like the bug on a windshield.
Yeah.
But it's bigger. It's, you know,
Bigger and there's like
aggressive.
more blood and guts?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's way more descriptive. I like that, I like that.
No
Why are you
worries.
trying to turn me out to be a weird person?
Oh
Like,
no, yeah, it's all me.
yes, it's definitely you. I definitely need you to tell people that I'm weird. All right, DMS. 1 round away from double digits for Zerance. It is a pistol round, however. A little bit of damage here would be quite nice, if possible. 3 MP9, so you can see that Zerance are looking to just farm up cash.
All about damage limitation here. Just don't be sloppy. Try to minimize the threat. Oh, will they line up? In the worst way. Julie trying to farm, but that's some good damage done. Is there a bomb plant here to be had for this T side? Apparently not. The MP9s collecting all that they want to. A superb position Zerance find themselves in. They've put themselves in this position. DMS have a lot of work to do, and it must start now.
I mean, every single kill in that round came from an MP9, so there is so much cash here. Despite how much of that came through, still going to have MP9s into this round. So that's the one, I suppose, silver lining. But we're going to have to keep these engagements a little bit longer range if DMS want the opportunity to turn things back around for themselves. Still got quite a bit of util here. They've given up Banana more or less and are angling towards A, but look how heavily reinforced it is.
Does Rachel go back? I wonder. Oh, some good info for Emerald. Now, does she want to stand and fight? There's no one to throw util for her on the other side, although Rachel is getting into that position, but doesn't have the util, so maybe she's not. Just repositioning onto the site then, as they are expectant. Still a lot of smoke grenades here for DMS to execute. They've taken much possession of top mid, but if they are to rotate back towards B and that smoke on long disappears, Julie is still here. Cowday alone on B, no util left for her. And that might pull Julie back in that direction. At least she'll be closer for a rotation. Now those smokes come into play. Good counter flash. Oh, it's going to be a hard one to get onto this bomb site, though. Julie through the smoke. No respect being shown. Averona, 1 versus 2. Another one through the smoke. And they hold. Oof. Body language doesn't look good.
Definitely see the pressure is mounting here, but even, you know, across the board, like we saw how excitable Julie was getting earlier, the trash talk that was coming through, and even though they're at such a big lead at the moment, I think there's a moment where you're just like, okay, we need to lock in, not because we're behind, but because we're so close that we can taste it, and to fumble the bag now, like, you can recover from it mentally, but it takes a moment, and it would be absolutely devastating. So why take that risk? Now, you know that I'm a huge fan of opening kills. I love talking about it, so I'm going to do it again. This time around, Zerance only have 7 opening kills, and yet they have 11 of the rounds. That means that in 4 of the rounds that they've won, they've come back from being at a player deficit, which is incredibly impressive.
They've got a full send with the MAC-10s. I was wondering, where are they going with this? Like, they've got to make this work, which means they've got to send it, and they've got to send it quick. Rachel forced to fall back, but will get a barbecue for her troubles. Calde won't be so lucky. Rachel somehow goes back for a second. The shrapnel will finish her off. They've got to secure that bomb plant quick, but the CTs are here already. I can see Julie around the corner looking to be more of a nuisance. She has been quite one so far. 16 frags along with Rachel, just tying with her in this round. Rachel making it winnable for the squad. Now, this would be really big if DMS can win by elimination. That would take so much money away for the CT side. So far, so good. Astra dropped. Julie coming in to trade. 2-on-2. There's a kit for both CT. Sosia in the smoke. Can she pick the right timing? Here comes Ulyss from the side, but it's Sosia with both frags. And that is the round that DMS were looking for. A Hail Mary towards that B bomb site, straight through the mollies onto the bomb site, and success finally for DMS.
And we've seen a few times that run through the molly strap just completely failing, but they ran towards a weak-sided B, so there wasn't a ton of follow-up. I think just an extra HE might have made a big difference there, but they're able to crack through relatively unscathed, and manage to flip things back in their favor. And what's really important is with how close the rounds have been, Zerance now have no money.
All they need for now is patience. Play correctly, focus on the buy rounds. This is an opportunity, though, for DMS to build momentum and then take it through to a buy round and just feel more comfortable than they have in this game of Inferno. Has been very dicey indeed, and they're the ones on the food table.
Bomb has been planted.
So again, should be a formality. Some time to breathe. Let the brain have a little rest before the challenge to come.
Now this will put DMS on the exact scoreline that they had in their last meeting. So they have an opportunity here not only to better that score, but to potentially steal this map away and take us to a third. Bit of economic damage done here, but not going to be too much more than that unless Rachel can get a sneaky one, but no. So 2 kills with Kitsuna dying to the bomb. Now, let's face it, at this point, it's not making a massive difference, all things considered. And Kitsuna's actually quieted down since they've moved over onto the T side, and I suppose that maybe makes a little bit of sense when you consider that she is the AWPer, but we've seen her be exceptional even on rifle. So for her to be kind of quietening down a little bit, it's not great, but it's also allowed Sosia to start picking up. So now we've got all the DMS players kind of firing on similar cylinders, which I think is part of what has made this resurgence possible. Jeez.
Nice from Astra, big opening frag.
Jamie has 3 HP.
Banana will still be open though. We'll see if there's a re-aggression from Zerance, but if not, then they have to assume that there is some presence there. So what do the remainder of DMS do? They have to find success here. Every round should be worth 2, breaking that CT economy once again. So a slip up here could be fatal. But Astra has come to meet them again. She just wants to be friends.
No friends here. Enemies on the field of battle.
45 seconds. 1 flash for this T side. So Jamie's going to be offering the nades. 3 HP in the back. Deploying the util. Still got a lurker over towards the A-bomb site. Maybe trying to catch somebody on that rotation. So far, so good. Katsina gets the entry. Traded by Rachel. So good with the bursts. And it is that low health Jamie left. Rachel not showing. Buying time for rotation. And it's Ulyss left lurking over to that A-bomb site. What was the play here? I'm not sure if she was keeping the options open. Should they rotate towards A again? But she didn't have a part to play mid to late round until it was too late. Really difficult when you've only got 4 players.
Huge round from Rachel. Really has been a massive piece of the puzzle for Zerance today. Quieter in previous series, but realizing now this is, you know, elimination is on the line. Yesterday it was just a case of, well, do we go upper or lower bracket? But today it's, do we continue or do we just go home? So 20-9 at the moment, a 2.0 KD that she has really put her team in her backpack, and now the home stretch before them, and Julie will lose her life instantly.
Astra could get some nice, oh, well, she's got some info, rotating back towards bottom banana. Good angle from Emerald. Gave her the half a second she needed to make it a 4-on-4. M4A4 enjoyer Rachel. Looking to do some more damage. Astra in the pit now. Got to try and make it awkward, but she will be traded promptly indeed. 3-on-2 for what remains of DMS. That's a very nice molly though. Jamie getting barbecued. Brought down in health. Calde got the 1v1 she wanted, but not the result. Rachel in the clutch now, pre-firing. Again, the money will become dire should the CTs lose this. There is a kit for Rachel. What is the play, though? Is this a late attempt to cheeky defuse? There's Jamie on the site, absolutely ready to keep DMS in the fight.
Oh man, and the whole time I'm just there going, save. Just save. Just leave. Just hold on to the weapon. But not the call that is made in that moment. And unfortunately now it's going to be back down onto a bit of an eco for Zerance, and DMS do indeed best their previous score and looking to continue to making it an even closer affair, as now they've got so much cash in hand. And Katsuna, T-sided AWP, not given the chance.
Full send. Operation Full Send coming to your screens shortly. Emerald could actually win this round. 1 versus 2.
Oh
wow.
God.
That was wild. That was fun.
That was stressful. All of those USPs running straight towards you. Katsuna didn't even have a chance to pull out that AWP. Instantly overrun and brought down to a very winnable scenario. But they, you know, hold their mettle. And they do manage to nab themselves another round there. And despite all of the kills brought into that round, all it's done is allowed some very small upgrades. But if that previous round was anything to go by, it's anyone's round. say small upgrades. These are scary upgrades.
Such a strong bait setup. Emerald only getting one for the time being. That flash, or she came out a little faster, ate some of it as well, but now Astra's got a rifle. So awkward. Able to fall back. Averona dropped as well. This is chaos. Look how little health they have left. Kitsuna with 3 HP. Astra will be dealt with, but man, these are nervous rounds. They are closing that gap though.
It's terrifying, I think, that Zerance are able to get so much done on rounds when they have like nothing to play with. The setups that they're creating, right? The pistol rush down mid, the bait setup at top bracket, just slowly clawing their way. And the main purpose of all of that is to have money into the next round, because now they have a robust buy, everything in their possession to close this out.
All of a sudden, this must feel a lot tighter for DMS. A lot more doable. Again, the bait set up. Not really checking it properly. It's going to be costly. And here comes Astra again. Down to the pistol, though. Very awkward indeed. Look at her post up and drop jammy. Brutal. Huge 2-0.
That's insane that they do the exact same play 2 rounds in a row. But let's face it, are you expecting that play 2 rounds in a row? Of course you're not. And that was their demise. It's exactly what Zerance plays